Robert Sarver needs to be fired from the NBA. Today, it was announced that Robert Sarver will be getting suspended this season because of an investigation that's been going on for this past year. As a Suns fan, I was very happy about it and a little content because there were rumors that he was going to have to sell the team. Not only was this good from a basketball standpoint because Robert Sarver is a terrible owner, but he's also a piece of shit. Now, when it was announced he'd be getting suspended, some Suns fans were happy because he finally got suspended and we're not going to have to deal with him for a year, but a lot of people were mad. And no, they weren't justifying what Sarver did. A lot of people believe that Robert Sarver should have to sell the team and be banned from the NBA for life, basically getting the Donald Sterling treatment, which, looking at the details of this investigation, he might as well have gotten. Just know everything I am about to read is public knowledge. The investigation details were released today by the NBA and Shams, so if you do want to see the investigation details for yourself, you can just go on Twitter and find them, but that's where I'm going to be reading a lot of this information. I'm going to skip the 3 paragraphs that were written before. It's all just public knowledge that we already know about Robert Sarver and his role in the Suns. There is one interesting detail that says that they recovered 80,000 documents and materials, including emails and text messages. So it's safe to say they have a lot of shit on Robert Sarver. They listed 3 main bullet points of their key findings. I'm sure there were other things, but these were the things that they wanted A, either released to the public, or B, they found were just, I guess, the biggest things. Like the report said, they had 80,000 documents worth of stuff. I believe they also talked to about 320 people. So just know there's probably more, but we're not going to find out about it unless someone leaks that. And with the way this is being handled, I think some things are being left out of this. The first point says Mr. Sarver, on at least 5 occasions during his tenure with the Suns/Mercury organization, repeated the N-word. Again, we knew that he said that. We even talked about a situation in a previous video where Earl Watson had an encounter with him, and it was reported that he did say it more than one time. It wasn't just a slip up or a, oh, I didn't know moment, which, I mean, you're fucking 60. How do you not know by now not to say that, especially in the time we're in? But even that, I don't think that's enough for him to just get suspended for a year. There has to be more. And that's where we look to bullet point number 2 that says Mr. Sarver engaged in instances of equitable conduct towards female employees, made many sex-related comments in the workplace. He made inappropriate comments about the physical appearance of female employees and other women, and on several occasions engaged in inappropriate physical contact towards other male employees. So not only did he do sexual harassment by just making weird jokes, but it seems like he physically touched people. They didn't get into specifics, so we don't know if he actually grabbed certain body parts. You guys know what I'm trying to say basically. But by the details and knowing Sarver for the person he is, I think it's safe to say he did some pretty fucked up shit. They didn't confirm if it was towards women that he physically grabbed, at least with the way I'm reading it, but he did do it to male employees. Dude, aren't you fucking married? And just so y'all know, in any work environment you can think of, this would be a fireable offense. And that's just the bare minimum. Guys, this is the tip of the iceberg. We're not gonna get all the details, which I didn't expect to. And the final bullet point just says that Mr. Sarver engaged in demeaning and harsh treatment of employees, included by yelling and cursing at them. Again, they're not really saying examples of what he said. All we know is that he's just being an asshole. Before we go any further, there is a final paragraph that does say that Robert Sarver promotes diversity and this is what he wants to do and all these good things. If someone has to emphasize that they do those things and they don't just straight up do it, then chances are it's for attention and they don't mean it. It's like when you do a charitable act where you have to record it and put it on Facebook for validation. You don't give a shit about giving money to a homeless man, you just want likes. If that man was there and there were no cameras around and you didn't have your phone on you, you would not give that man the time of day. That's just a fact. And it does show that Robert Sarver, when he wasn't being recorded and nothing was public, he was being a piece of shit racist. Now, there is a second page of the investigation that we're going to be looking at a little bit more in detail because there's a lot of things that they didn't talk about on the first page. To summarize the first paragraph, it does say that in the interviews they did find out that basically Robert Sarver was being racially insensitive, made jokes about people's sexual orientation, or even commentary about related sex stuff. Also, it turns out the Suns HR, which is human resources, had literally no function whatsoever. It was completely useless. And like the report suggested about a couple months ago, it is a proven fact that it was a toxic work environment. The rest of this report just says stuff like he can't go to NBA games, he can't participate in stuff, but you guys could probably assume those things. But now with all this information we know, and again, this being more than likely the tip of the iceberg, can we justify Robert Sarver being suspended for for 1 year and 1 year only. If you're someone like me who likes to see the bright side and everything, then I would say so, because the fact that they actually did something about this is very shocking to me, and I never thought they would actually suspend him. But wait a minute, just 1 year? For all of that shit that was listed, 1 year. This man makes Donald Sterling look like a fucking angel. Look, I'm not justifying what Sterling did, and honestly, I could give a shit if he died tomorrow, but he's a racist, and that's about it. Meanwhile, Sarver is racist, a piece of shit who demeans women, has literally sexually assaulted some of his employees. Oh, and he started a toxic work environment. How the fuck can you look at Donald Sterling's situation and say, let's ban this guy forever, and then we go over to Mr. Robert Sarver and say, nope, just 1 year I think should be fine? What the fuck? No, like, what the fuck? You cannot tell me that these situations are the same. I compared them at first when we first heard about the investigation, but Jesus Christ, Robert Sarver is like 10 times worse than this dude. And again, it is the tip of the iceberg. We don't know every single thing that happened. At least with Donald Sterling, we know most of the shit he did because there was a leaked audio that came out, a bunch of former players came out. With Robert Sarver, we know little to no information about this. Look, I'm not the guy wearing a tinfoil hat, even though it probably does seem like that, but there is no way that Adam Silver didn't do some shady shit. Robert Sarver has to have something on the NBA for this to not be bigger than what it is. The only explanation I can think of is that Robert Sarver knows Adam Silver is a fucking lizard or something. That has to be the only explanation, because there is no fucking way that this man got suspended for 1 year for all of this bullshit. So let's ask this question now. What is the standard for getting suspended as an owner? It's a rare occurrence that should only happen if a really big thing or really fucked up situation happens, but this is that situation. Like I said, if fucking Jeff from accounting did that to Susan and fucking HR, I don't know, he would be fucking suspended from his job and probably get arrested for sexual assault. But nah, it's Robert Sarver. We'll give him a year. Oh, and how could I forget the $10 million fine? You really did it this time, Mr. Silver. You really got him. You fined him $10 million when this man is worth $800 million fucking dollars. Really? That's it? Yo, come the fuck on. So now we get to wait just 1 season of no bullshit, and now we have Sarver who's gonna be coming back and nothing will happen. The same situation that was there previously with the sexual assault and the racism and the sexual harassment in general will not change. Great, you gave him a 1 year break and that's about it. Yeah, I got no words for this. This is fucking crazy. I mean, it's 1 year. Who knows? Maybe he'll fucking die.